This weekend, we explored something known to the church as Roman Road. This is a series of verses in the book of Romans that can be found in the New Testament of the Bible. These verses give us a baseline idea of who we are. They start off with a very humbling reminder. Romans chapter 3, verses 23 says, "For everyone has sinned, we all fall short of God's glorious standard." That's true, isn't it? We have all sinned, but we don't like saying it. Pastor Jim talked about how uncomfortable it makes us feel to say we're a sinner. We choose to swap it out with other words like mistake or a phrase like just being human. We like to downplay our bad decisions. One of my favorite sitcoms is The Good Place. It's a comedy about what happens after we die. Kind of a paradox, right? The basic premise they set forth is that there's a good place and a bad place. You end up in one of those places after you die based on what you did on Earth. One of the main characters is struggling to accept that she ended up in the bad place. She constantly talks about how she wasn't the worst person on Earth. Yeah, maybe she did some bad things, but she wishes there was a medium place for her to end up. Somewhere for someone who wasn't the worst, but certainly not the best. She found a way to live with her bad choices and her sins by comparing them to others. She chose not to take responsibility for what she did. Now, spoiler alert, she does finally come to the conclusion that the choices she made mattered, despite how they compared to those around her. She finally admitted that she messed up. And I think that's what's so hard for us to do. Admit we messed up. Admit what we did was bad. Admit that we sinned. We are so lucky to have a God who loves us despite our sins. A God who is there for us no matter what. But part of building a relationship with God is admitting that we sin and owning the consequences. It's not about being the most good, bad, or medium person. That's all comparison. It's about looking to God for guidance and doing our best to follow His word. So let's stop downplaying our bad decisions and comparing them to others' actions. Let's own our own actions and admit that we're sinners while also accepting God's love for us despite that.